Hello guys, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Before we start, just a quick disclaimer. Anything we discuss here is just for educational purpose only. Nothing is financial advice. Sorry guys, decent start of the week. Nothing crazy. We just focused on few setups all day long. Market was chopped, so it was not really a great day for SPY, QQQ, SPX, and future traders, but we'll discuss that. So we'll discuss that before we go through all our trade recaps. So let's do a quick introduction to anybody who's new to our X accounts, new to my YouTube, or new to our community. We trade a repeatable system called Ripster Cloud System, which the system just doesn't include the indicators. It also includes all of the teachings that I've been teaching from years on X or on my free website, ripstereducation.com. So thousands of traders across the world use this system to trade consistently in the market. System is how you trade, setup is what you trade. In the stock market, you need those four pillars that I teach: system, setup, risk, and goals. So setup is how you trade. How do you find those setups? Be it a swing trade, day trade, or an investment, how you find the setups. Those setups you find with the proper planning. So every day we do a pre-market planning in the community. So we half an hour before the market open, I go live in the community. Our community Tana Trade Group is one of the largest trading communities online, one of the largest trading floor online, and which is educational based community, not an alert service. So we do what we do every day in our community. We make a plan. I go live on a screen and I go through each, which my team makes the top plays. They put together the top plays that can work for the day. I go through it. Me and my team, we make a plan. We make a game plan. We create a support levels, resistance levels, and we make an initial game plan how we are going to trade those setups. We make an initial game plan. I usually highlight anything which is of importance, which I'm going to focus. You see today I highlighted a bunch of upgrade, downgrades, and I was also highlighted a few of other trades like Tesla. So we will recap all those, but we split everything into different setups. We split them as a news plays, any technical plays, any index stocks, upgrades, downgrades. So we make a plan, and we follow that plan based upon our system. In addition to that, we also trade something called day 2 day 3 strategy. This is another strategy that I invented, that I did a lot of free webinars and a lot of videos that I teach you guys every day on this strategy. There was a bunch of plays on this strategy as well today. UNH, Lily, Core Weave. Definitely they were working. So we'll discuss those setups as well. And then we also trade crypto stocks, Coin, MSTR, CLSK, and a bunch of other stocks which move with Bitcoin. So based upon that and using Ripster Clouds, we trade that. We provide the game plan and levels in the pre-market. We also trade futures. Today was not really a great day to trade futures. Also, you need to know when to sit on hands. So we provide these futures levels to the traders so they can trade the futures using the Ripster EMA Cloud system, keeping their winners big and their losers small. We also provide level for indexes, ETFs, and Mag 7s, like AMD, NVDA, Microsoft, Apple. So the traders can trade those setups in the community. In addition to that, we also trade IPOs, we trade low floats. We have a different channels for those, but in our community we have so many tools. We have 3 option flow scanners, we have a stock scanner, we have a couple of breaking news alerts, we have audio news breaking news alerts, we have order flow, screen share, we have hold, unhold, Ripster Cloud, support, resistance alerts. A lot of tools we have in the community which are free, which are $500, $600 per month, which are free for the traders who join the community. So we work together to find the opportunities in the market, keeping up a loser small, our winners big. I'm usually on the live screen and on live voice at the open and first 2 hours of the market, guiding the traders through the trades, the setups, any trade I'm taking, even if I don't take any trade, guiding the traders through our game plan stock tickers, right? So we'll go through all that. I'll show you my timestamped guidance. Of course, I cannot show you what I say on voice, but we will try to learn from winners and losers and how you can implement the same setups yourself without anybody hand-holding you and become confident in the stock market if you are looking to become a professional, lifelong trader in the market. So let's start. All right, so we're going to start with First Solar. So First Solar. So one thing you need to learn, which I want to focus today, is when you see some sector making a huge move, right? So how do you track the solar sector? The solar sector you track using an ETF, which is called TAN, right? The TAN ETF. So the TAN ETF was up the other day on Friday, and not only that, if I'm gonna go to the daily chart, I can show you here. Let me see if I can find that daily chart here. So if you see that the solar was strong. The solar was strong on Friday. Big candle. Solar usually doesn't make that big of a candle. But why this sector has been beaten down? It pops and drops. It pops and drops. But when this sector finally showed this insane volume on Friday, I went on the weekend. I did my research and analysis, and we reviewed it. It could definitely make a second day move, because usually if there's so much insane volume like how the First Solar had which was the reason I chose First Solar, because it's the main leader of the solar stocks. Of course, you could trade an ENPH run, but this is what I chose. And in the market, you need to know what is running, what is hot. You need to focus on those setups which are running. So this morning in the pre-market planning, I took the First Solar and I put it at the top of the list, and I said it's a day 2 setup. All solar names on watch, bullish to neutral, long over pre-market highs. The simple rule of thumb is when something makes some sector is so hot and it makes a move on the day 1, you simply wait for the price to push over the yesterday highs and long it, or you can use Ripster clouds and the support levels to long it. So anyways, this is why the solar stocks and the solar sector was on our top watch. And I also tweeted it out. First thing, I'd also try to share this with my followers. Of course, I'm on voice and live guidance in the community, but I also try to share this setup with my Twitter followers as well. So I tweeted about the First Solar setup in the morning. So let's see what happened. So I showed you the pre-market planning, and you see that as soon as the market opened, I saw really good volume on the first candle. I used Ripster volume indicator, and that's why I told the trader the long has triggered. Watch the pullbacks to add. Now you see this, the first candle pushed to 218. Of course, if you add 218, 217, you are going too far away from the risk. You should either have entered right at the open, or you wait for the pullback. So then we saw this pullback which came right here, this pullback. And that's what I told traders, amateur move pullback needs to hold. If it turns bearish, we will exit. The stops were 209.50. So we were adding this pullback right here, 211s. That was the pullback. If I go to the smaller time frame, I can show you that. And this was the pullback, right? Usually a trader will panic, add here and sell. We don't, because our system tells us. So I told the traders to add that pullback, right? Put the stops long on the pullback, put stops at 209.50. And even if you add it at 211, 211, 212, you're risking $2, that's fine. From there on, this is called Ripster 512 pullback. We continue to push. The target I gave was high of the day. No BS, no hindsight. I gave the target way before time, and we did hit 218 again. Now it did kind of fake us out here, trying to break the 512s, and our indicator alerted us 512 is breaking. But if you see carefully, there was a support here. It was not breaking the support. So you have to respect the support rather than Ripster EMA Clouds. And then it started to push again. And because my stops were 214, and I told the traders holding 512, and then it broke out, held, retested, and pushed towards 221.50. So almost a $10 per share profit. You risked 1,000. You could easily make $4,000 on this trade if you were trading, with 500 shares. That's how this setup was. Of course, you could trade the options on that. Options, sometimes they're illiquid, but definitely there was opportunity. You could trade 215. A lot of traders were trading that. Went from $5 to $10, 100%, right? If you bought it $1,000, you made another 1,000. Depends on how you want to trade. But the point is, this is how you find opportunities. This is how you find, if you do this consistently, let your winners ride and close your losers. If it broke, we would have lost $2-3. That's fine. But remember, we were willing to lose $2-3, but we made $10. That's the risk reward. That's how you do it. That's how you find a hot sector, and that's how you trade day 2 strategy. Day 2 repeatable strategy, repeat it for life. Watch the thousands of timestamp recaps and trades on Tanner Trade Group, on Ripster Education, on YouTube. I give you all the resources, and hopefully the next time you guys can also be part of this trade and make a consistent, good, profitable trade. All right, so next I'm going to talk about the similar setups. So that I've been teaching. I have done many videos in the past. I have shown you many profitable trades on this. This is called analyst upgrades, and not all analyst upgrades. Is it a tier 1? What is tier 1? Bank of America, Citibank, UBS is okay, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, HSBC is also tier 1 international. So you can watch those, right? So today we had a bunch of upgrades. We have DUOL. I also look at the chart, DUOL, the history. So let's start with DUOL. We have the bunch of these setups which work today. As you see that I highlighted it, I gave the plan in the pre-market, how to long it, and RGV was guiding on DUOL. So DUOL, 334 support, 34 resistance, MTF setup. Also a swing watch. I also told the traders you can swing DUOL, long versus the pullbacks or the MTFs. So the reason I like DUOL, because I like the fundamentals. I actually called it as a long swing trade long time back. So pulled back recently from all-time highs, popped on the earnings and pulled back. This is why it was on my watch, because a big bank comes in, tier 1, and tells us that it's a buy. 400 price target. Look at the price target. We're also going to look at that NVDA price target as well. We'll talk about that as well. But let's look at, so tier 1 price target. So we know it's going to go. Now what do we do? So we long it. So one of my lead traders, one of my top students, who is an amazing trader, RGV. So he was guiding everybody in the community on that setup. I also posted the recap. You can go follow him and you can see his guidance all day long on DUOL. But all our traders in the community, they know, right? So they know. So RGB went long right at the open. I was on the voice. I told the traders to long it. You see, and then you just hold. You have the conviction. You have the setup. You have the Ripster Clouds bullish. You have the daily chart trying to reverse. So you long it right here. And then the first target is all of the MTFs, and then you see the flag on the MTF, you ride it all the way long. So even if you had 100 shares, right, 342s, on 100 shares, you could make almost $2,250, $2,500 dollars, right? If you trade the options, you can trade the option, no problem at all, but it's kind of illiquid. 350 options were all right. They went from like let's see where they were this morning. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so they were $10. Yeah, another 100% trade. So you don't need to do size too much on these trades. So let's take a look here. So yeah, all the guidance in the community, by RGV. You can see that. Learn about why, right? Our MTF, once our MTF cloud holds, it's going to go higher. RGV gave 360 target, and I also told the traders that we are going to keep pushing, and then we hit the 360 target in the community. The next target was 365. We hit that target, and then 370 we hit that target too. This is why we don't close, because we follow the Ripster EMA Cloud System, up. As long as 512 hold, you hold. Once the 512 breaks, you exit, but it didn't even break it. It was so super duper strong. So you see that, right? No hindsight, no BS. I clearly told about it. Our traders are guiding it. We are guiding it in the community to show you the power of the small losers, big winners. Amount of today was just insane. So that was DUOL. Let's look at the next one. So the next one we're going to look at is NVDA. Okay, so NVDA was the same thing. Who upgraded NVDA? Let's take a look. So NVDA was upgraded by Morgan Stanley, tier 1, right? MTF above. Watch the semiconductors can push towards MTF clouds. I said NVIDIA can push towards MTF clouds. What did it do? NVIDIA pushed towards the MTF clouds, and then I gave the target on NVIDIA. And my traders already know that. And this was MTF long. It was a long right here on NVIDIA, and the target I gave was 183. I was short by 6 cents, but you can see that target I gave on NVIDIA was right at the open at 935. So what was the setup? Tier 1, Ripster Cloud bullish, Sammy's conductors bullish, and 1 hour MTF cloud breakout longs. You can see that. So that was another beautiful trade today. NVDA again, tier 1 analyst upgrade. So let's look at the next one. So let's look at the next step in analyst upgrade one. So what was that? That was MongoDB. 405 price target raised by Citibank. Again, Citibank is usually a good bank. Remember that. I have shown you, this is not the first time I've shown you the winning trades. We have done this many times, right? So the MDB was bullish bias to long pullback, 218 to 24. And MDB, because I was busy with First Solar, so I personally, was a little late, but my community, my traders, they were already long on MDB. I said on the voice that MDB is gonna go. MDB is gonna go, So MDB was a long right at the open. Once it pushed, you could wait on this amateur candle and take it long here, and it was all day right up. No need to cut, no need to cut. MDB, we continue to move stops up to 27.90, and I told the traders once it breaks 512, you exit it. Another like 224, 25 enter stops here, 231, right? So simple, so simple. Let's look at the next one. All right, so let's look at the next one. And again, this is not a fluke, right? You see that it's not a fluke because we know these setups. LMND, one of my good tickers I like because of short squeeze, good earnings and everything. It's been running since earnings. You remember now it's flagging for tomorrow. Will be high watch for the breakout long on tomorrow. But look at the pre-market game plan on LMND. Morgan Stanley again tier 1, same as NVIDIA. Trade versus 1 hour MTF breakout long, no go under yesterday lows. Right, so my traders already know, right? So it's a breakout here. This is a pullback long. I've shown you it 100 times, and just take it long all day. Not all day. Yes, it broke 512. You exit here, and if you want to trade it again, you can re-long this 512 reclaim or this 3450 bounce. But LMND also you risk $1,000, right? Even less than $1,000, you could make $2,000-3,000 there on LMND. So that's kind of trades you're gonna do. Now UNH was a combination. UNH was a combination of both day 2 and analyst upgrade. Let's see here. So UNH, Bank of America. Usually Bank of America securities, it's not that tier 1, but still it's okay. I like when Bank of America itself does it. And you see 313, and it's 312, bullish to neutral, no long under yesterday highs. One thing to note is you need to know the personalities. UNH did the same thing. We lost it on it Friday morning, and then it gave us a long later. You see it didn't do anything initially. The same thing on UNH today. First half an hour, 40 minutes, didn't do anything. I didn't even touch it. I told the traders long it if it pushes over 312, just stops here, and did the same thing. Pushed over the pre-market highs, could not break it, and pulled back. Similar to yesterday, exactly similar, right? Yes, you could make $3-4, but that's it, right? I told the traders to move stops up for this very reason, and once it pulled back, stopped us out, we were out of that trade. All right, let's look at some other stocks. There were so many plays today, but a lot of pop and drops. You need to manage your risk here. We were following Open. Open was one of the cult stock, retail stock, pretty strong. It was just a morning long. I gave the target of 4. Nothing too much to recap here. I gave the 4 target, and we did push to 4 and rejected, and you get out, and then end of the day it gave another long from this 3450 bounce. This was the long. I think I mentioned it there at end of the day. Open, let's see if we can find it. Yeah, open midday 3450 calls. So you could our morning long was from 340 all the way to $4. We stopped out here. That was the end of the day 3450 calls. Repeatable setup. You could easily do a decent trade with few thousand shares. All right, the next one we're going to look at is WULF. WULF also, which was working for us but didn't really pay us too much. The plan on WULF was to trade versus 10. So you can see the plan, pre-market trend, watch 10 to hold for longs, no long under 512. So we were long versus 10. That's what I told the traders. But once it starts working, you can move the stops up. So you move the stops up 1020, you long closer to here 1070, you get out here, right? So it didn't really give us anything, but we didn't even lose too much. The entry was right closer to 10, put to 771, take some off, and once it broke 512, you get out. All right, I need to finish the video early today, so I'm not able to recap a lot of other plays here, but I just want to talk about Tesla. So Tesla was a high watch today, 327, 329 resistance. It was inside day. I told the traders to long over 329, short under it. So what did Tesla do right at the open? Let's take a look here. So Tesla right at the open broke out of the 329. You see this is 334.50 curls, and Tesla right at the open broke out of it, and traders took the long to the MTF. If you miss this MTF, you do not add here. You add this pullback right here. And then it was flagging, and I told the traders flagging, break the flag, and push 335. Little choppy action. Was on a high watch for tomorrow, but this was a long right after it broke 329, and you add these pullbacks and take it all the way up. All right, just want to look quickly on Meta. So Meta was an opening short, right? So let's take a look here. You have to be fast at the open. So Meta was short. The target was 955. We did hit 956 and bounce, and then we got out. So nothing special there on Meta. One thing I want to recap is that the SPY QQQ today was not the day to long, okay? Not the day to touch it. It was chop, chop, chop. I did tweet about it as well. You lose money. You need to understand that. Inside day, couldn't break under the yesterday lows on QQQ. Inside day, couldn't break under the yesterday lows. You have no reason to trade it. If you didn't trade it, it's a win. You save a lot of money. All right, guys. Hopefully you learned a lot today. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.